Hello, my name is Samuel Stone and I'm the Intellectual Property Attaché for China. I'm based here in the British Embassy, Beijing, and I've been here for coming on for 2 years now. Prior to working on intellectual property, I worked in our international trade department, including on UK-China trade policy issues. I lead a team of 4 dedicated intellectual property office staff out here in China. And the fact that we have this team reflects the size and the importance of the Chinese market when it comes to IP. We cover the China market and we also cover the Hong Kong market, although our work predominantly relates to the China market.
What role does the China IP team play?
So my team provides 2 functions. The first is a business support service. So we are able to use our expertise across all business sectors to give that first level of information and support to businesses that want to find out more about IP in China. The second function that my team plays is policy work. So we interact directly with the Chinese IP administrations, and as Chinese IP landscape changes, we feed in the views on behalf of the UK and on behalf of UK rights owners. There are some main characteristics of the China market. The first one will come as no surprise to anyone listening is the sheer scale of China.
Tell us about the export opportunities.
UK-China trade is worth over £100 billion per year. This is a significant opportunity to UK businesses, and so of course when businesses want to operate in and do business with China, this really brings along the importance as well of protecting intellectual property rights and intangible assets. The second important characteristic is the pace of change when it comes to IP protection in China. China recognizes the importance of intellectual property for innovation, and as a result, China has been instituting a number of changes and reforms to the IP landscape. This includes revisions to major laws, establishing new dedicated IP courts, and strengthening all sorts of judicial and administrative enforcement.
What are the typical IP issues in China?
So many businesses have the perception that there is little or no IP protection in China, when in fact the changes that China has been implementing has been bringing up the standards of IP protection across a number of areas over time. This means that the registration of rights in China has never been easier, and many businesses and rights owners will find that when it comes to enforcement, it's less challenging than they initially expect. So despite the progress that has been made across certain areas in IP protection in China, there are still many systemic and real challenges that remain. So one of these challenges is bad faith trademarks. Now this is where a third-party actor preemptively registers the brand of an existing international company in China, and this can lead effectively to a loss of control over the brand and the trademark for the company within the Chinese market. The Chinese government has been taking significant steps to try and tackle this issue of bad faith trademarks, but it is still the #1 issue that is reported to us by businesses. Another issue is counterfeiting. Many counterfeits are produced in China, and there are estimates that up to 70% of the world's supply of counterfeit goods comes from China and Hong Kong. And then finally, there's an issue with the consistency of enforcement. So although enforcement is improving, rights owners might find that there is a lack of consistency across regions and across different authorities for enforcement.
What lies ahead for UK IP rights in the area?
And so for my team, our priorities for the future are really to adapt with this changing landscape, to make sure that we are providing the best service to businesses. As the registration and enforcement of basic rights becomes easier, I think there will be certain interesting areas like trade secrets will become more important, especially to businesses that are at the cutting edge of technology. Another issue will be enforcement through e-commerce platforms, as more and more trade between the UK and China goes through these channels. And finally, with all the change taking place, it's really important to me and my team that we are able to provide the best information and services to those businesses that come to us for advice.
What is your advice for businesses trading with China?
So each year we talk to over 100 businesses directly, and we reach hundreds more through events and outreach activities, and we also post materials online on gov.uk to help businesses with their IP in China. So we will continue to update this offer and make sure that we're giving the best information available. I also want to make sure that companies know that they should be getting professional legal advice, that they should be registering their IP wherever possible, especially trademarks in China, to make sure that it's best protected. And I would further urge any businesses or rights owners, if you have any issues or concerns related to IP protection in China, please get in touch with me or my team. We are always here and willing to speak with companies about whatever issues it is, and we can hopefully either help you or signpost you to further information.